Minecraft, that gargantuan franchise that just never seems to stop selling, has once again dipped its toes into another new genre following the successful Diablo Light adventuring of Minecraft Dungeons. Developed in partnership with franchise custodians Mojang and Blackbird Interactive, does Minecraft Legends surprise and delight? Well, let's find out in the XboxEra review for Minecraft Legends. Full disclosure, I am not the biggest strategy fan on the team here at XboxEra, but I do share a household with a Minecraft expert, that being my 8-year-old son. So if, like me, you're not the biggest strategy fan out there, but want to know if you, or more importantly, your kids will enjoy this particular outing in the franchise, this is the review for you. Minecraft Legends is a blocky take on an action-orientated strategy game. I say action-orientated because the key difference is instead of the player taking a bird's eye view of the battlefield, you're down in the trenches with your troops, swinging your diamond sword with wanton abandon. There's a campaign to tackle, in co-op if you wish, and a hefty multiplayer component, which I sense is where the main draw to the game lies, all with cross-play included. Let me set the stage. The piglins who live in the Nether underworld have created portals and are invading the peaceful, villager-filled overworld with a desire to seize control. 3 guardians, known as Foresight, Action and Knowledge, pluck you from your mining activities and task you with thwarting the piglin threat and restoring peace to the overworld. It's all fully voice acted with some pretty cutscenes throughout and similar slapstick found in the many Traveller's Tales LEGO games. You're given a quick tutorial on the mechanics that you'll be using throughout the game, so you won't be going in blind. Firstly, there's resource gathering and building. The usual wood, stone, diamond, iron, redstone and coal ores are all present and accounted for, but this time it won't be you diligently hammering at the blocks with your fists. Instead, our guides bestow us with allies, useful friends that will gather or build for us. It's as simple as throwing an ally down for stone or wood, and they'll gather what's in range of that particular type of resource. The overworld itself is split into various biomes, each with a unique resource to be found within it. The dry savanna is where you'll find plenty of iron, and the jagged peaks are where diamonds can be found, for example. We're also shown how to spawn and command mobs, which is again a relatively simple affair at first, but it soon becomes a lot more complex as the game progresses. You'll have access to a few basic mobs at first, both ranged and melee based, but as the campaign continues, the overworld will rise up, and you'll unlock some true Minecraft classics like creepers, skeletons and zombies, all fighting for you instead of against you. Once you're thrust into the overworld itself, the objective unfortunately becomes fairly repetitive. Defend villages, gather resources, upgrade your capabilities, attack piglin outposts. This gameplay loop doesn't really change, and it did leave me feeling like the entire campaign is just a very lengthy tutorial with a nice story attached to it. There are a variety of difficulties available, and for younger players I'd recommend sticking with Storied. My son struggled on Fabled, which is Legends' version of normal. Indeed, as the procedurally generated map grows in size with resources becoming more scarce on higher difficulties, there may be plenty of meat to chew on for dedicated fans. That's not to say that they don't introduce some good attempts at variety as the campaign goes on. Early in the game, the piglins split into various hordes with unique characteristics, with Horde of the Spore wielding poisonous mobs powered by some super funky mushrooms as an example. At various points you'll annoy these factions enough that they'll send their leaders out to the overworld, and it's here where you'll have some of your biggest fights. There's nothing quite as satisfying as carving a route into an enemy stronghold and then rushing in with 20 or so creepers to absolutely decimate them, whilst your skeleton archers rain arrows from on high. Some of the challenges though are less about having the right mobs to take in with you and more about getting to where you need to go. There's a fairly simple and intuitive ramp building ability to get around, but the pathing for your mobs following you across them needs a little work. On more than a few occasions my motley crew would fall off the sides and then just stand around until I either went to go get them or respawned them back at a village. The villages act as teleportation hubs once they're repaired and defended, and you can build arrow towers, walls, redstone launchers and more to bolster defences and repel attacks. Your main base of operations, the Well of Fates, is where you can upgrade your potential, unlocking more allies to speed up gathering, upgrades to resource caps or entirely new buildings and abilities. At a certain point you can unlock an ability to heal nether blocks, allowing you to start building on the salvaged land. This can open up entirely new combat opportunities as you can build smaller outposts deep within enemy territory and really deal some damage. Just in case you lose track of what to do, the game will tell you when the piglins plan to attack and where, so it's got a fairly nice pace to things, giving you plenty of opportunity to explore the overworld. And explore you should, as the game has plenty of hidden things to find, from new mounts, the beetle was my favourite, which allowed me to climb up surfaces and float down from great heights without taking full damage, and ancient powerful golems to join you in battle. Overall, the developers have done a fantastic job in blending these two genres, crafting a wonderful pairing in Minecraft's key visual aesthetic and a focus on gathering materials with the more strategic focus of the strategy genre. Putting the player in a low-angled third-person perspective was a smart move, allowing players to feel like they're part of the action as they race across the battlefield with a variety of mobs to do damage on their behalf. Regardless, by the end of my 12 or so hours in the campaign, I'd had more than my fill, and it was then that I decided to try out multiplayer. In my opinion, this is where the heart of the game truly lies, and the premise is fairly simple. 2 teams of 4 will start from scratch with one simple objective: destroy the enemy base, protect your own. Again, each map is procedurally generated just like the campaign, so it's usually best to assign roles to each team member: resource gathering, base protection and defences, and so on. Team coordination is key, because not only do you have another human-controlled team to worry about, but piglins are also in the world, introducing some nice PvPvE elements. They mostly exist as a way to farm further resources, enabling you to upgrade your capabilities for battle. However, they will periodically attack your base and your opponents, and they should not be ignored, because they will upgrade too. Due to the lack of a decently large matchmaking pool before retail availability, the developers kindly created a Discord server for folks reviewing the game to host private matches. And whilst hosting private games works just fine, there are some questionable design decisions here made when it comes to the overall approach to multiplayer. Firstly, there's no in-game voice chat whatsoever. Won't somebody think of the children? Meaning that coordination between strangers is virtually impossible. There's a limited ping system in place, but it's impossible to convey any kind of intent or strategy with a simple ping on a location. It's desirable then to go into matchmaking with friends, but if a team of 4 with voice comms in a party are against a collection of random strangers with no voice chat, I fear for the chances of that team to successfully strategise. Secondly, despite all of the cool effort that went into the piglins and their various mobs, you don't ever get to play as them. I feel like this is a big miss, but considering how well Minecraft and Minecraft Dungeons have been supported, perhaps introducing them as a playable faction might be a thing at a later date. Regardless, teamwork makes the dream work here, and there's a certain delightful thrill in repelling enemy attacks and pushing forward with your own army of mobs to wreak havoc. Several times you might feel like you have the upper hand, and then, surprise, the enemy have snuck a redstone launcher right next to your base. Defeat was inevitable. Minecraft Legends wasn't a game I was particularly excited about, mostly due to its strategy leanings. However, it's always nice to be surprised, and I was. There's a lot of fun to be had, particularly with friends online. The single player can be as chill as you'd like it to be, but PvP is absolute panic-inducing carnage in the best kind of way. Who knows, perhaps it will breed a whole host of new strategy fans. Either way, learn the ropes in campaign, but grab a few friends and team up in multiplayer to get the best bang for your buck. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and why not ring that notification bell so that we can let you know when we've got some fresh content. And we'll see you next time.